Welcome everyone to a very special episode of Megadads Live. It's our best of 2024. It's our annual review of everything that was great to play in the year 2024. This is, of course, from a small sampling. I don't have an opportunity to play everything, and some of your favorite games might be missing from my list, but these are the best of the best that I played. And man, as a 44-year-old man, father of two, and a husband, my time to play is limited, but damn did I play a ton of great games this year, and I want to tell you all about them. Megadads Live is a mature-rated podcast. It's for the Megadads, the Mega Moms, but not the Mega Kids, so put on those earmuffs and let's go! Now, before we get to our best of categories, I want to give some special shout outs to 3 games that I played that didn't make any of these lists, but I think they're great honorable mentions, and you should really make time to play these games if you haven't yet. First up is Stellar Blade. Now, I talked about Stellar Blade on a previous episode of Megadads Live. It's an awesome hack and slash, semi-open world action-adventure game that really gives me a lot of PlayStation 2 era vibes. It's a brand new IP with flashy sword and gunplay, kind of Bayonetta, kind of Devil May Cry, really incredible visuals in Stellar Blade. And while I really enjoyed my time with it, there just wasn't one particular aspect that elevated it enough to be on one of these best of the year categories. But I really think it's well worth your time. Stellar Blade 2 is super cool. Another game that I want to recommend that was one of my most anticipated games of the year, and I'm actually playing it right now, is Tomb Raider Trilogy Remastered. I'm obviously an old school gamer. I grew up with the classic Lara and the classic Tomb Raider, so this is more my speed than the Survivor Trilogy stuff that we've had recently. Aspyr has done a fantastic job of polishing up these old games. They still play the way you remember them, but visually they're really quite beautiful. They've done some excellent job in the texture work and just kind of cleaning up the edges so that it's not so rough to play. And also there's some great quality of life stuff in there too, like being able to save whenever you want and not having to rely on the old save crystal formula of the classic Tomb Raider games. If you're a fan of Lara Croft, if you're a fan of PS1 era games, you really should check out the Tomb Raider Remastered Trilogy. My final honorable mention that I want to give out here is a Nintendo game. There aren't very many Nintendo games on my list, but Super Mario Party Jamboree is a great time. It's an excellent family game. It's an excellent multiplayer game. Super Mario Party Jamboree is a return to form, and it's a great effort from Nintendo. Certainly an excellent holiday season game to play with the family. Now let's take a quick minute to talk about some of the games of 2024 that I did not have a chance to play, but man, am I eyeing up sales so that I can pick these up and play them in the new year. As I said, I don't have the time or the capacity or certainly the funds to play everything that I want to play. So these are 3 games that are on my radar that I really, really want to check out when I have the opportunity. The first of which is Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. There's a free demo for this on PS5, and I played that, and it was outstanding. A really cool anime, arcadey style brawler, hack and slash with some cool Final Fantasy elements. Outstanding art style, great aesthetics, very flashy, very fun. There's some layering there with the mechanics that I'm sure the more you play into the game, you can kind of optimize how you want to build your party. But my time with the demo, this was like a very cool arcadey approach to medieval hack and slash, fighting goblins and dragons, things like that. I will definitely be picking this up in the new year, maybe if there's a lull in the release schedule in 2025. Another game that I just did not get to is Life is Strange Double Exposure. Now, the original Life is Strange, when it released, was the Megadads game of the year, so I have a lot of affinity for this franchise, even though once Don't Nod left and Deck 9 picked up the reins, I have not enjoyed the Deck 9 games as much as Life is Strange and Life is Strange 2. I thought those were just absolutely phenomenal adventures, and I just haven't been able to get into the series as much. Now, Life is Strange Double Exposure brings the series back to the roots. You're playing as Max Caulfield again, the protagonist from the original Life is Strange game, so that's definitely piqued my interest. I'm very curious about this title. I haven't heard a lot of buzz around it, so this will be another game that once it goes on sale, I'll pick up in the new year. And finally, this one probably hurts the most because man, was I excited about Star Wars Outlaws. But when the game released, there was some real meh buzz around this game that it just did not live up to the hype. There were a lot of problems with it, specifically around the stealth-based mechanics. And the great thing about games nowadays is that developers can take that feedback post-launch and change the game. They've made a lot of the things that apparently hurt the Star Wars Outlaw experience. They've made all those optional, so you can turn off the really bad stealth mechanics, things like that. So I hear that it's in a really great state now, and I would love to get an opportunity to play this. But again, my play queue right now is packed wall to wall. I just have not had time for Star Wars Outlaws, but I will get there because I'm very interested to see how this game looks now. The place to be for Megadads socials is the Megadads Discord, where you can engage with your favorite Megadads as well as other friends of the Megadads every single day in our stress-free and welcoming social space. When you're a member of our Discord, you will get alerts for all of our content drops, so you never have to miss a review, a podcast, or a hot take. Partake in our fun weekly Megadads holidays like Waluigi Wednesday and Final Fantasy Sunday. Megadads Discord is fun, free, and follows you wherever you go. Join us today and become part of the conversation. All right, that's it for my honorable mentions. Now, let's get to the categories. These are the best games of 2024.
This is the best character of 2024.
The best character of 2024 is James Sunderland from Silent Hill 2, as performed by Luke Roberts. I've played the original Silent Hill 2 over and over again, and so much of what is great about that game are the characters and the world building and the delivery and the direction. And I was a little nervous to see what Bloober Team would do with this very prestigious game, but boy, did they get an excellent actor. Luke Roberts delivers a haunting performance, better than I could have possibly expected. You feel all the dissonance of his mind and the reality and everything that he's going through as he slowly begins to peel back the layers and he comes to the realization of what is happening to him and what he has done. Bloober Team did a fantastic job with motion and facial capture so that you really see all the pain that James is going through. Luke Roberts did an exceptional job, and that is why he is the best actor and the best character of 2024.
The best family game of 2024.
The best family game of 2024 was actually one of the games that I played the most. My family and I couldn't get enough of Crossy Road Castle. This game has sucked hours and hours and hours of our time. It is so much fun to just jump around and platform and watch each other stumble and fall, and you have those excellent sports moments of, oh my God, cheering for your teammate, get to the end, get to the finish. Crossy Road Castle is a chaotic arcade style game and really approachable. Like, the mechanics are so simple that anyone can get it, but once you start to elevate throughout the game, it gets difficult. Makes those moments just so special when you're on your last life and you conquer the boss to get to the next floor of the castle. My kids love it. My wife, who's not a gamer, loves it. And it really is a game that has brought my family so much bonding joy. That's why Crossy Road Castle is the best family game of 2024.
This is the best gameplay of the year.
The best gameplay variety of 2024 goes to Team Asobi's Astrobot. Man, there has never been a game that gives you more new things to do around every corner. Every single level in this experience gives you something new to do, a new gameplay mechanic, a new power-up. It's just fresh. The pace of this game never lets up. It gives you more and better throughout the entire experience. Astro is one of the best 3D platformers that I have ever played. Team Asobi continues to out Mario the folks at Nintendo, giving us the best 3D platforming gaming you can get. The fun of Astrobot is really unmatched. A game that just makes you smile ear to ear from the gameplay itself. It is a joy to play. You don't ever want to put it down, and you never ever get bored because there's always something new and fresh to do.
Best art design of 2024.
Silent Hill 2 wins Best Visual Design because it really knows how to convey that subtle expression of storytelling through sights not just sounds. From the very opening of the game, as James Sunderland massages his hands in that creepy, disgusting bathroom, there's storytelling at play without a single word being spoken. You can read what is happening just by looking at James's hands. And that kind of attention to detail is present throughout the entire Silent Hill 2 experience. You can really read into what is happening in the world by reading the world itself. Everything means something. There are visual glow-ups, of course, to James and Maria. Really, it's reading the town itself. It's seeing the fog swirl in a way that really draws you into what's happening. I haven't played a game that you can just feel the love that developers had for the source material like I have for Silent Hill 2. In every aspect, especially the art design.
The best sound design of 2024.
For the best soundtrack of 2024, man, was there a lot of fantastic music in the year, and it was really hard to come up with a clear-cut winner. But really, the runaway hit has to go to one of the games that has one of the best soundtracks of all time, Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII's Rebirth soundtrack really elevates, heightens, and expands the music experience, takes everything that you know, adds layer upon layer upon layer to make it much more expansive. The composers Mitsuto Shizuki and Masahashi Hamazu accentuate Nobuo Uematsu's original score to really elevate it and give you some fantastic tunes. And of course, Nobuo Uematsu returns for the game's theme, No Promises to Keep, which is really the emotional backbone of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. When you get that full orchestra Final Fantasy VII soundtrack pumping in your speakers, you know you're in for a good time, and you're
The best soundtrack of 2024.
The best sound design of 2024 goes to the audio team at Bloober Team for their work on Silent Hill 2. Incredible sound design, especially when you've got your headphones on and you can hear the 3D audio, the skittering and the scattering of the demons who are clawing their way to get to you. When you think, what does hell sound like? The guys at Bloober Team must have a first-class pass. You can hear James's heart beat and his voice swell up in his throat as the terror encroaches in on him. I don't know what a mannequin demon sounds like, but the guys at Bloober Team do, and they've executed it and created some of the most terrifying sounds that I've ever heard in a game. And with the 3D design, there is no escape. It immerses you in the horror. They've really done a terrific job, and that's why Silent Hill 2 has the best sound design of 2024.
This is the best VR game of 2024.
This is the one I'm going to get all the hate for, the best VR game of 2024. Why am I going to get so much hate? Because I did not play Batman Arkham VR. I don't have a MetaQuest, so I'm limited by my selection on the PSVR 2. And I've been playing a game on that hardware that is so freaking cool. It is Alien Rogue Incursion. Everything you've ever wanted to do as a Space Marine, you can do. You've got your pulse rifle, you've got your shotgun, you've got your sidearm. There are some intense moments when you're crawling through air vents and you've got your motion tracker on. That guy might be right behind you and you don't know until you turn and he's there about to plunge his silvery, slimy teeth right into your skull. The developers at Survios really understand how to make this movie world come to life. And it is just an incredible time. I loved Alien Rogue Incursion, and it was my favorite VR experience of 2024.
The funniest game of 2024 is...
Here's a category that I had to create just for this specific game. It's the funniest game of 2024, and it goes to Thank Goodness You're Here. I don't know how to properly express Thank Goodness You're Here and the comedic stupidity and absurdity and just absolute hilarity of this game. You really have to play it for yourself. All the characters that you come across and all the situations that you find yourself in just to make you laugh out loud or kind of raise an eyebrow at the silliness of it. It's definitely got a wry comedic sense of humor. And I've just never really played a game quite like this that just lives and dies by the comedic performance. And boy, is that hard to do in games. And I really appreciate that it leans into what it is. Like, this game is here to make you laugh. And my God, did it make me laugh and gasp a few times. Thank Goodness You're Here is a hilarious and stupid experience that I loved in 2024. It's the funniest game of the year.
This is the best side quest of the year.
My favorite side quest of the year has to go to Queen's Blood from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm not a guy who loves card games, And I'm certainly not a guy who likes to play card games in video games. But man, this was an excellent detour. The Queen's Blood card game is so addicting. Like, it takes a little while for your brain to wrap around the rules, but once you get there, it becomes so addicting to travel to each new realm on the map and challenge the key players to level up your guy. And then they put a storyline in place, why the game exists, and there's like this weird boss, bad guy, evil situation going on behind the scenes. It's so much fun. My son and I were wrestling the controller back and forth because we each wanted to play the new match so bad. I just loved the integration of Queen's Blood. It is so much fun. It is a great palate cleanser from the rest of the game, and it really is like the epitome of what a good side quest is.
This is the best moment for all of gaming in 2024.
The best moment that I played all year round. Now, of course, this category comes with spoilers because some of the best moments are like those payoff moments, right? And boy, did Final Fantasy VII Rebirth deliver on an exceptional fan service payoff. The reunion of Zack and Cloud as they face off against Sephiroth, not in a flashback, but in the present day, was a moment that I had no idea that I needed so bad until I started to play it. Absolute chills and goosebumps as these two pinnacle heroes of Final Fantasy face off against utter and complete evil. And man, is it a badass fight. I love the world that they've built with this Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy and how they've taken things that weren't possible before and kind of remixed the story so that you can have these fan service moments and just totally nerd out. Cloud and Zack versus Sephiroth was hands down the coolest thing that I played all year round. This program is powered by Megadad's Boost, our public support program. You can join at patreon.com/Megadads. For over 10 years, Megadads has been bringing you the best in podcasts, reviews, interviews, family fun, and so much more. As an independent media organization, we rely on audience members like you to help support what we do, to ensure that Megadads can continue to bring you the great content that you enjoy. If you've been watching, listening, or playing along through the years, please consider lending your support by becoming a member of Megadads Boost. Memberships start for as little as $1 a month, and you can start collecting your Boost rewards from day one. Rewards like art cards, early access podcasts, reviews, gameplay clips, and so much more. Please visit patreon.com/Megadads and become a member today. You can help us continue to make more of that Megadads coverage you've loved over the last 10 years well into the future by becoming a member of Megadads Boost. All right, now it's time to talk about the top 3 games of 2024. Usually when I do lists like this, I've got 2 games that are jockeying for that top spot. And my third place pick is usually pretty easy. And the second and first place, it's like, man, I go back and forth. I really obsess about it. This year, all 3 games on my top 3 could easily flip or switch for that top position. They're all fantastic games that I rated 5 out of 5. And you saw them in our categories probably multiple times. It's really hard when you give something a perfect score to ascribe a hierarchy of what is more perfect. So I struggled with this, but I'm in a good spot. This is the definitive list that I settled on.
Maria! I thought that thing killed you. Are you hurt?
Not at all, silly.
But the thing... It stabbed you. There was blood everywhere.
Stabbed me? What do you mean?
It chased us through the elevator and then...
James, what are you talking about?
Just before. Don't you remember?
James? Honey? Did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else?
The number 3 game of 2024 is Silent Hill 2 from Bloober Team and Konami. I am a Silent Hill super fan. I've loved this franchise for the longest time. And Silent Hill 2, one of my favorite games ever. So I had a lot of anticipation for this. I've loved Bloober Team's work, especially on games like Blair Witch and Layers of Fear, and the medium I thought was exceptional. So I knew that with Silent Hill coming back, they were in good hands. But man, nothing could have prepared me for what Bloober Team delivered, because Silent Hill 2 exceeds all expectations. It is the greatest horror story ever told in games, made better. The gameplay is enhanced. The graphics and the art design are unmatched. The soundtrack and the sound design, phenomenal. It's got just about the best story that's ever been told in games. The acting is so well done. Luke Roberts as James Sunderland absolutely crushed it, absolutely killed it. I hope beyond hope that Bloober Team gets another crack at Silent Hill, maybe with an original story this time, because they truly understand what it is that makes Silent Hill great, and it's on full display with Silent Hill 2. It's the third best game of the year. Now it's time for the runner-up, the second best game of the year. This goes in contrast with a lot of best of the year lists that you may have seen or heard around the space. My number 2 game is Astrobot by Team Asobi. Astrobot is pure fun through and through. So polished, so joyful. I love this character. I love that it's a love letter to the PlayStation brand, which of course I find myself really drawn to. I'm a huge PlayStation fan, and now in the 30th anniversary, to have this spotlight game really casting a light on what it is that has made PlayStation so great over the last 3 decades, and doing so in a game that is the best 3D platformer that I've played in ages, possibly ever. The DualSense integration, feeling everything and the vibration and having the adaptive triggers, it's such an immersive experience. My biggest fear with Astrobot was, by taking it out of the VR space, would it be as immersive? Would it work? I wondered if the thing that made Astro so fun and so great was that VR, but Astrobot proves that Team Asobi knows how to craft incredibly fun, flawless platforming experiences. It's challenging but never frustrating. It's fresh. Every single level feels and plays different. The pace of this game is relentless. It's just joy from start to finish. Astrobot is such a treat, a delight, and just barely not my favorite game of the year.
Ever since we left Midgar on this crazy journey, ever since we were kids even, I can't remember a time like this. A time when we were this close. Or am I getting ahead of myself again?
Again?
Yeah. Again.
Not one bit.
Which brings me to the Megadad's Game of the Year for 2024. It is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. What is there to say about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that I haven't said already? It is sheer perfection. Square has done the impossible by revisiting a franchise that everybody loves and everybody holds in such high regard, and made this experience so much better, so much more fleshed out. The world is so vast and interesting and populated with characters and things to do and monsters to battle. There's never a dull moment in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm still playing through it because there's over 100 hours of content easily. I walked away from this game at the end of the summer after I rolled credits on it, and I still go back to do more quests, to do the pirate treasure hunt, to finish off my Queen's Blood run. There's just so much in here to supplement a great core RPG. Now, a lot of people complain that this game was a little bit overstuffed. To me, there's just so much in there that you can play this game any which way you want, and you're going to have a great time. If you want to mainline that storyline, that quest, you can certainly do so, but there's so many other things to do, and they're all so fun. Wild and crazy side quests, all sorts of optional bosses. You can get summons. The summons in this game are ridiculous. The cast of characters are so charming and well written and well acted. The combat in the game is so fast and engaging and fun. And I love the fact that Final Fantasy has grown up. I was a person back in the 90s who loved my JRPGs, my turn-based Final Fantasies. That was my jam. But now I'm an older gamer. I have less time. I appreciate games that respect my time, and Final Fantasy VII has evolved in a way that this game is so much easier to pick up in small intervals and set down. Even though it's a huge game and you've got to dedicate a lot of time to it, the pace of it, the tempo of it, and the quality of life that is infused in this game makes it so easy for a guy like me to pick up and play for a half hour between work and bringing my kids to karate. As I've grown and changed as a gamer, so has Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth finds the best of all worlds and gives me an experience that really feels like it's catered to me and has rekindled my love of the series in general. It's part 2 of a trilogy. I cannot wait to see how this story wraps up. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth not only delivered what I hoped it would, it absolutely exceeded everything that I wanted it to be. It is the best game that I played all year. It is the official Megadad's Game of the Year for 2024. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this special episode of Megadad's Live, our Best of 2024 edition. I want to hear in the comments what your favorite games were. Make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and if you've been enjoying what we do here at Megadads over the last 10 years, please consider supporting us by going to patreon.com/Megadads and becoming a member of Megadads Boost. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.